We in the legendary Profield.
Yeah, we in
Not the
field.
dugout.
We live from the field.
We are not in the dugout right now. This is amazing. I just popped up because I have nothing to do in my life today. No, here with my bro, the one and only Chris, one of the owners of Profield Reserve. We got a big event coming up. It's about balling. It's balling season. Yeah. We're balling. I'm broke, but I'm gonna be balling on December 16th, Saturday. Together we ball. Yep. Break down the ticketing.
Okay,
so I was about to fuck that up.
So ticketing, right? There's three different ways to cop a ticket, right? So you can get the VIP. That's $70 off rip. Mm-hmm. So that gets you early access at 7 p.m. That means you can go in, get food, shop merch, talk with artists, mingle at a leisurely pace. Then there was RSVP. We only had so many of those. RSVP gets to get in with VIP, right? So we get to fill the room with some people that really wanted to be there early, so they don't got to deal with the chaos of what the night potentially could turn into good chaos. Yeah. Because we're expecting a lot of people to show up and have a good time. So then there's general admission. We just had to shut those off because they were going at such a fast pace. But ultimately, the event is free. At 8:15 p.m., anyone can pull up. General admission and walk-up guests will just be outside in line up until we get to capacity. So, yeah.
I'm going to grab that 70. You got to show love.
Because you're going to get in free, but if you want to eat, drink, shop, you're going to spend that anyway. So you ultimately might as well pay the 70.
I've made it to that point in my life and age where I pay for comfort and coziness.
Absolutely.
So the fact that you say RSVP like 8:15, no. That doesn't work for me. Yeah. I need to be in by 7. Yeah. I need to have Nikki slices, food in my hand,
exactly,
merch in the other by 7:40.
Yeah, and with VIP you get a VIP bag. So with that we're collecting items and goods and gifts from all over the city. So we got people tapping in and just over the next week and a half, we're going to just be dropping stuff off for us to put inside those bags. We'll have coat check for VIP. You get to come in, get some STL toasted. So you get some toasted ravioli, some bubbly to drink on. So like for the 70, you absolutely getting your money's worth. So, because we're literally going to hand you like store credit to go get merch. So out of that 70, you just, here's credit out of it that goes towards your merch. So
ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Like what does Together We Ball like mean to you?
To me, we're going to tell the story of the last 4 years. And without community, without the city, without my friends, my counterparts, Profield isn't what it is. And I was provided an opportunity to throw this event, and something like this I've wanted to do, but to this capacity, I thought was a great opportunity for us to come together. Most of our events in the past have always been, always a good turnout, but it's always on a smaller scale because we never really got to tap into a bigger venue to kind of to accommodate the crowd that we could potentially pull. This was an opportunity to also give people the chance to be seen on a wall, to go through that process of showing in their city. There's a good chunk of people in this show that have never shown to this amount of people in their life. And to me, that was important. And I know some people in the show have shown before in the past, but I haven't seen them show because of the pandemic, because of just lack of venues, lack of art galleries that are even tapping into like the local scene. And I'm just talking about on this side, right, and my immediate circle and the people that I ultimately interact with on a very daily basis. They're not showing in shows. They're not being asked to show in shows. They're ultimately this show is for the people to kind of scratch that itch, and hopefully it gives them a reason to continue like working on their craft.
Do you think it's fair for me to say like because you got some heavy hitters on Together We Ball?
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair for me to say like, all right, here's like the heavy hitters and you got the underdogs? Because I feel I feel like I'm disrespecting people when I call them an underdog sometimes.
So that's funny, right? Because we're getting ready to do some promotional stuff, some rollout stuff, and the word that keeps coming to mind for me is underdog, right? It's you've slept on us, but we've kept continuing to create and make things for the last 4, 5, 6 years. Even though I've only been here for 4, I just know people have been chasing that carrot, that like not necessarily a finish line, but a benchmark. If I can help people reach that benchmark and it gives them that feeling of, I want to continue doing this, then that allows the city to like continue to catapult, to grow, to thrive, because now we have artists that are homegrown or transplants that want to stay here and help the city grow, ultimately see themselves in the city. You don't have to take your work somewhere else. You can find all the success and the accolades and the praise that you're looking for as an artist, because ultimately that's why you show your work.
I think that's cool because it sounded real annual-ish to me, the vibe, where it's like, all right, this is about to be where year 2, year 3 is like everybody looking, it just grows and grows and grows. And I think it'd be cool for the people who feel like that underdog. I showed in the first one, the first annual one. I was in there. I want to do the second one. I want to do the third, and get more people trying to tap in that I may not have ever heard of. You never heard of, like, oh, what's that? Exactly.
Now it allows me to really stay in tune with the city moving forward. If this is something ultimately at the end of this that I'm proud of, and it goes off successfully, right? Like, I understand there's going to be ups and downs, bumps and bruises. There's going to be unexpected things happen. There's going to be some amazing things happen. I'm here for all of it, but also I do have to gauge at the end of this if this is like, because this is taking a lot of energy in a short amount of time. I see why now people plan things out a year out.
Yeah.
Like, this date was just kind of put on my radar. A few dates by the luminary, Kalaya there. She's amazing. She sees the vision. She understands what I'm trying to accomplish. It takes someone like her to understand what I'm trying to do. And maybe they don't fully understand what I'm trying to do, but they understand enough that I'm trying to create platforms, try to create opportunity, and something that is here on the South Side should be utilized by the people on the South Side.
If you could give an estimate, how much time do you think you had to work with for this so far?
Oh, just a few months. A few months. Yeah, it's been very 2-3 months, if that. Very quick turnaround. Because it was just kind of one of them things like, hey, like, if the luminary ever has an opportunity for us to do something here, let me know. And it was like, well, we have some dates. And
Funny,
I was like, oh, wow. And when the December 16th date was put on my radar, I'm like, a week and a half out from Christmas? Man, like, why not? Yeah. What a way to celebrate, like, the end of the year. And to me, it's kind of like putting a bow on the last 4 years, because I know going into 2024, a lot of us are going to continue to do amazing things and elevate into areas and spaces that we've only dreamed of. So kind of, for me, it's like this Together We Ball. It's like kind of like this like send-off for some people. I feel that.
Because the RSVP thing got me feeling like I got floor seats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like real, I could be like Spike Lee or something in the event. Yeah. And just seeing all the different elements that is within the event, that's what got me. I didn't even read everything. I'm just like, oh, I need to be there. Like
Yeah.
I need not only just to support you. That's a given.
Yes.
I'm biased, but it's just that feeling of, like you said, community. You just get it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many times I can overstate this, but you just understand. Like, hey man, like we in this together.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to flex on you. I'm not trying to. Hey, my accolades is here or there. Like, no, you was like, no, you can be a part of this. All of us can be a part of this.
Absolutely. It's more than just me. It's always going to be more than just me. I'm just facilitating. I guess they call that curating, but to me, it's like, man,
You the point guard.
Yeah,
Man.
basically, right? In just an organic, authentic way. I think with having the platform of having Profield has allowed me in spaces and opportunities that like aren't afforded most people, and I don't take that lightly. I don't know why having this allows me to take up space, but I'm willing to take that on. I'm still learning what to do with like that with that responsibility, but like hopefully I am like navigating it as well as possible.
I mean, because we seen how hard you work behind the scenes, not just on this event, but just in the past. And the episode you did with us on our podcast, you was like, yo, festival. And I think this is like a step towards that.
Absolutely. Yeah, if I could keep my head on for this one, right? I understand it's gonna going down this lane of like event curation and throwing festivals. Like I said earlier, I absolutely understand now why people are planning a year or two. I used to laugh at that, like, why? That makes no sense. I get it now because there's just so many like small factors and keeping an open line of communication and like keeping the pace of like making sure people stay on task, but also not trying to be this like overlord.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the people that I asked to be a part of the show, I very much felt like they could self-regulate because of that short amount of time that we had. And I'm not someone that's gonna like be on you. You either gonna show
micromanage.
Up, yeah, you either gonna show up with the work or not. Yeah, it's I just think it's a big opportunity for some people to really use this as a way to like sharpen their knife, hone the craft, figure out if this is something they want to continue to do. Hopefully it kind of, like I said, scratches that itch because some of these people is going to put a battery in their back.
And I think it's a very good thing because a lot of people, like you kind of mentioned, where it's just like they may feel like they not being heard or they not being seen. And, you know, a lot of people make fun of stuff like that where it's like only your friends say you tight. They only say your music's good. They only say your art's good. Only your friends, no one outside you. But then on the flip side of that, they never really got the opportunity. It's diamonds, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta find the diamonds. Like, and I think having somebody like you and your team just continuously just be so welcoming and opening and just trying to search for diamonds. Like, hey, we notice everybody and we want to give everybody a chance to be like, yeah, like I really did that. Like I really, and it may be, some people may just be afraid to.
Yeah.
Because someone, like I know you, but someone's like, oh my, he owns this and that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to approach him. I don't know how to get in, how to tap in with him.
And I don't want people to ever feel intimidated to ever come in here and introduce themselves, put their work on my radar. Now, I don't have the power to put you on.
Yeah,
like,
please make that clear.
Like, I don't have the power to put you on, but I have the power to, and it's not even power. It's that's a crazy word to use. But I have opportunities to open up spaces for people that that I'm not seeing get to show the beautiful work that I'm seeing. And ultimately, I think that's like the overarching goal for me is like, I'm seeing all this incredible work and it's just sitting on their computer. It's sitting on Instagram. Like, what are we doing here?
And
we've got to revert back to more tangible things, and giving people their flowers in real life, and also people being able to show their work to complete strangers and getting that. People really fuck with my work and they don't know one thing about me. And like you just said, your homies always, oh yeah, that's cold, right? It's like they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? But also your stuff may be cold. They may be telling the truth, but you have to kind of get that. I think that stamp from just the regular everyday person that works a 9 to 5, got a little expendable income, or they trying to treat themselves to a nice night out to find out what's new going on in the city, and they're willing to pay that money or go stand in the cold after 8:15, right? Yeah. But we have the responsibility to give people the reason to come outside in a city like St. Louis. So like that's why I'm hoping and expect everyone that's part of the show to like reward the people that actually come out, because it's a tough crowd out here in St. Louis. It's a tough crowd. So to get people to come out, I hope you do yourself justice and pull up with some heat.
I always thought about like when in like different cities, like people have questionnaires on why they should go out. So before they make the decision, they have, and I always thought St. Louis just has a long questionnaire of like, why should I go? And that's what a tough crowd thing. That's really real.
Absolutely.
Because I'm one of those people. I'd be like, all right, this is an event. All right, let me see.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Blah, blah, blah. Then just go down the line and like, all right, if it passes, it passes. I'm outside.
And this show is not. It is for the homies, right? It is for ultimately for us all to like celebrate together and to. But also, this is just for the person that's just been sitting on the couch that don't know nothing about us. For them to come tap in and be like, wow, this is in my city. If they throw something else, even similar to this, on a smaller scale, medium scale, larger scale, I want to tap in until they ultimately either prove me wrong as to why I should be staying at home, or I continue to get outside and support them because they're throwing well-curated events. The food's good, the music's good, it's safe. You're gonna go home at the end of the night and you're gonna see some good people in the room. Ultimately, that's what I'm trying to curate. Nothing more, nothing less. This is just for the everyday person, for the everyday artist, for people that are looking to be inspired, change their lives, see something new. This is really for everybody. This is for everybody that I think to figure out what they want from this city too.
Because I want to tug on we need more like tangible things.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, because I'm trying not to be ignorant. Like, because like when I tangible, like something I can hold.
Moments that aren't just curated around just like. St. Louis has like a party culture, right? It's just like a very embedded party culture, and if it ain't like a party that's cracking, why pull up? I think what I'm trying to curate is like everyday moments are good enough to pull up for. You know, like curating spaces where you can just go have a conversation with someone, and it's not it's about like real life things over time. Instead of just like we're just sitting here just talking about our work, and it's like, how's the family?
Right. And I've always gotten that feeling when I come to like field club. Where it's just like I whether I had a good day or a bad day, I'm like, oh well, and then I'll see, I don't know, Mo on the story like, oh, they had Profield. Oh yeah, let me pull up real quick, and then it's just kind of like like, how's life?
Creating moments and things that are just like very tangible. So when we're down this road of life 5, 10, 15, 20, it's like, I got family now. Not just like burnt out party like companions. Like, hey, remember when we just used to go out and just remember when we golfed every Sunday and you still suck but like we still going, right?
Right.
And then we do go get those beer and the wings afterwards. Or hey, like Franco the other day, he's like, who's trying to go to Godzilla with me? The Godzilla movie, right? Like things like that. I'm trying to get people, I think, to really start integrating with like other people throughout the city.
Yeah, because I think we all have our like respective like tribes.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Very tight tribes in this city. Yeah. Very tight, very small circles.
Yeah, but it's okay to say, hey, what's up? I fuck with them too. Like I fuck with them, like, and to be comfortable enough to be like, hey, let's go see a movie. Let's go to Top Golf. Like,
yes, and ultimately, with those things, right? It's a trickle-out effect. St. Louis can be very difficult on small businesses, even just businesses alone. Like Riverfront Times runs an article every month of opening and closings of business.
That's true.
Like that's how much the ebbs and flows it is for just small businesses. And if we are getting people out of the house, they're putting money into the ecosystem because they're coming out, they're being entertained, they're buying drinks, they're buying food, they're going to the movies, they're shopping. But if we're not giving them reasons to get out of the house, they're just going to continue to spend that money on Amazon. They're just going to continue to spend that money online. Ultimately, if you give people a reason to step out of their house, they will. You ask most people, do you prefer to shop in person? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you like to go pick out your groceries in person? Yes. So we have to create spaces, moments, and opportunities for people to just even want to invest their time to go out into the city and explore it and fall in love with it and grow old with it. Because there are some people out here that are doing that. And they can tell you the best restaurants to eat at and the best like theaters and the like. So I guess that's, I wanted to add to that, expand on that for people.
Yeah, because when you do, you open up people's like way of thinking. Like you can think beyond this. It's only boring because you're not thinking beyond what your experience or what you're doing. You gotta be curious and like look for things, and you'll find it. Like again, if you have a curious mind, like that restaurant looks interesting, never seen it, I'm gonna pull up to it.
Absolutely, even as small as things like me pulling in coffee every week now. It's like over the last 3-4 years, most people I don't drink. I've never really had coffee. I don't know if I really like it. I'm like, what do you do? What? It's the most amazing thing. So I start pulling it in here just to kind of start getting people. I'm not trying to get people addicted, but I'm trying to show people like, hey, you see people, consuming this on a daily basis at your office, whatever, and you're just like, nah, I don't think I'll like it. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
And if you don't like it this way, there's other ways it's made, and that's for everything. I think finding the things that you like and where they fit in, and at least giving it a try, because you may just not like coffee. That's fine. But I don't see any reason as to why we can't just like dabble and find the things that like I think ultimately turn us into well-rounded adults, human beings, right? Like finding new foods to try, new books to read, even going out and trying a sport you ultimately are terrified of even playing because you might feel like you may suck at it. Like at the end of the day, no one's really paying attention to you. No one really
That's so true.
So like a lot of people are just sitting at home, me included, right? I work a very long schedule, very like rip and run, so it's easy for me to just go home to let's get my mind right, replenish my battery. And I know that's what most people are doing, but with the field clubs and all the socials that we kick and the events that we do, selfishly it allows me to kind of continue to dip my toe into like the social aspect of like being an adult, being in St. Louis, being a business owner, being a creative, being ultimately just someone here in the city that's trying to find the people that I want to grow old with. And ultimately I think that's like at the core of it, it's like that's what we're really trying to find, I guess, right? Like you're going out because you're trying to meet that person to either like marry or date, or you're trying to go out and meet friends so you have a good circle, a support system, a home base. And like I feel like I am like finally carving that out, and it's like I can now look around and I kind of feel like I have peace of mind somewhat, because I'm like, I know that person's gonna be around. It's not like when we were younger, you know, when you go to school with like, you know, elementary, high school, college, it's like we all gonna go our separate ways at some point. This is probably the first time in my life in the last few years where I'm like looking around, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna know some of these people for the next 50 years.
And how does it make you feel?
Good. It's comforting to have familiar faces, and to know ultimately I'll have people to come back to. Because I do see myself, I'm not moving out of St. Louis. I'm not getting an apartment or like some like house in another city, but I do foresee myself like traveling some, you know, like, and when I say traveling, that was like on a, I think at a, just things I think I'll be involved in moving forward. Bigger things, more expanded things. I think maybe someone may need me for a project outside of the city, and those things ultimately, if they align, I'll probably say yes to. So like, yeah, like I think having people to come back to. Right.
It's I always find it funny that like I have friends in other cities that a lot of them never even been here before. Like, but I've been in that city a bunch of times, and I've been in their like communities and ecosystems, right? And then it's funny how they know I'm at Profield. Like, where it's like, you at that clothing store that you always post on your stories again, drinking wine. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you got to show me around. Because I go to the same spots, Profield, and, you know, we hit Sophie's afterwards, then we hit Up Late, and then it's just like, that's the night right there.
It's so great having a routine, to have things to like look forward to, because of like the ebbs and flows of life and the bullshit that happens at work and all the other things that happen. And like, so when you get those moments to go kick it with, you know, your friends and get a glass of Rossi and some pizza, and then be able to kick it at Sophie's and see more familiar faces, and ultimately have that comfort of everywhere I go, I feel safe, I feel loved, I feel accepted. Like, it's a great feeling. And also, like, we have to show ourselves in these spaces and continue to broadcast them and document them, because we need to make St. Louis, which it already is, it's a tourist attraction, but we need to make it a place where like even just people regionally want to come tap in with us, right? If our art scene is thriving and they see us throwing art shows and they see the fashion is on point, the music is amazing, we can get those people from Kansas City, Chicago, Indianapolis, Nashville, whatever, in a 5, 6, 8 hour radius. Even, why not LA, New York, Atlanta, Miami? Like, why not? Like, we all have someone down there representing us as a city. Like, St. Louis is, there's tons of St. Louis people across the world. So when they see us doing amazing things, like John being in here, like they're all, everyone that's doing amazing things that is from St. Louis, like, they're paying attention to what's like bubbling. And the more and more I talk to them, I'm like, dang, like, y'all like almost give me a reason to come back. And how amazing would that be for people that are out here just doing just such good work to come back and bring their resources? Because obviously, like, if you're out in LA or you're in Chicago or New York and you're just like pulling a bag and you've got all the resources and the connections, like, just imagine coming home and being like, oh yeah, like, so yeah, my guy can do it for you, right? Oh yeah, I know this person. And that's all it is. It's about I mean, ultimately the game is it's who you know, but like that can be it can be good and bad. Ultimately, it's like, what are you going to use, those resources for?
Right.
And for me, the resources should be used for the betterment of the community, for to put people on, to bring knowledge back, and to show people this is how it's done, and to fast track people. The whole like keeping knowledge to yourself or not showing people how to do it, that just hinders everyone.
Yeah, I always thought that was sucker shit. Like, as soon as I get knowledge, and if you ask me, you say, hey, how did you do this? All right. And I always preface it, hey, it worked for me. So don't get discouraged if it don't work for you. But I'm going to tell you step by step how it worked for me. And then it's yours, you know what I'm saying? Go try it. Or
and you
tweak
can't
it.
and you just can't step to someone like crazy and just like ask them to hand over everything. Because like, it does take time and curation of and learning and failing and all that to figure out how to answer those questions. So like, I can't give you everything. I can guide you. We're not gonna figure it all out in one night, but like, ultimately,
I can put the rod in your hand.
Absolutely.
Let's start there.
Absolutely, and I can connect you with the right people, the right resources, the right, hopefully someone that can help you take your work to the next level. Because ultimately, I think that's what most people are looking for too, is like, how do I take this work that is already really good and get it to the next level? I see you have a resource or a connection or a platform. Can you help me? And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I ultimately always try to do right by people. Have I left people unread? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have I not responded to some emails? Absolutely. Yeah. But like, life's chaotic. There's a lot going on, and I can only balance so much, just like everyone else. So sometimes when people come along asking, for all the questions to be answered, you're just not in a position to give that knowledge. But I promise you, keep coming around.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing. If you don't get all your questions answered right then, some people can feel discouraged and be like, they don't want to help. And it's like, you caught me on a really busy day. Come back. It may take you 6 weeks, 6 Sunday brunches for you to actually like catch me, and like we can have a good 45-minute talk, and like we can really chop it up, right? Or come in like right before I close, like trap me here. I'm not saying like, but like people know how to like find me and find like my down times when you can like really like sit down, talk with me, and see what ultimately I can bring to the table for you. Who can I connect you to, like, or even just small advice.
I think people underestimate the power of their personality and how intriguing personalities are. Because like, you can come to 6 field clubs and you can have like one of the most coolest personalities, and people like, hey, like, then it turns in, it gets flipped on the person that you're trying to impress, I guess. And it's like, yo, like, what do you do? Yeah. And then they become, because they like you, so then they want to help you even more.
Yes.
Because again, they may catch us on a busy day. We've been on the other side of that, and we kind of talked about it, where it's like, yo, I can't put you on. Like, that's a lot of pressure to put on, like, platforms. Like, people think, I'm gonna play Coolery, man. I'm about to be on Breakfast Club next. I don't know them. I don't know, but I'm not doubting that you can't get there. Yeah. But it's just like, yo, like, I'm there. We're there as the platform. We're welcoming, just like you're welcoming, and we can help where we can.
Yes.
But I just think people just kind of underestimate how interesting they really are. Like, just come around.
Just come around, right? There's not been one person that ultimately continues to come around. And, like, look, the people that pull up to this are drastically different from one person to the next. I'll be straight up honest with you. We do not all look alike. We do not dress alike. We are not listening to the same music. We are not eating the same food. We are not some, like, unit that like takes on everyone, like each other's personality at all, right? Like, do we have some inside jokes? Yeah. Are we all drinking on Citywide because that's all we get? Yeah. Like, we have some commonalities,
right?
But like, at the end of the day, like, when you come to an event that we're throwing, and our part of the community is who's tapped in. It's like, it's such a welcoming environment. And somehow ultimately it was me looking for a way to, I guess, meet more people and expose everyone to the people that I was meeting too in the shop. Because as you're building the business, you got so much downtime. Like the first 3 years, I was sitting in here most of the time by myself, like staring at the wall. I couldn't even tell you the last time I actually got to sit down and wait on a customer just to walk in. And I was thinking about that the other day, where I actually just was like,
anytime now.
yeah. And that's what I did a lot of the time.
Right.
And people saw me doing that, and they were bored too, and wanted to save gas. So they'd pull up. They'd pull up, and we'd talk. Right? And you're building family, you're building community, you're building relationships, and all that downtime that I have has now been built up into like, I'm running around with my head cut off most of the time now. But it's fine. I'm gonna learn the pace. I'm gonna slow down after this show. Should I have taken on this show? Who knows? But when opportunities come knocking, and like things like this are put before you, I was just like, man, like, why have I not seen Bino in a show? Now, if he's been in a show in the last 4 years, my apologies for not like knowing. But like some of the people in the show, yeah, they've shown in a couple shows, but like my boy Bino, like, he gotta be in the show. Man, there's some other ones like Justin. I don't know if he's necessarily shown locally. I haven't been to a gallery here in St. Louis and has seen his work with his counterparts. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these have shown in some galleries around here and shown stuff outside. But for some of the people in this lineup to be under one roof for like basically a 2-day event, to me is just really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah.
And remind me again, how did you land on the luminary for the spot?
So, the luminary's always been on my radar, right? I'm just ultimately outside of clothing. I'm not like your true like art kid. I'm not like gallery trained. I'm not some just like can talk the talk, walk the walk, but I know something phenomenal when I see it, and I know when someone's being slept on, and I know like when there's a resource in the neighborhood, and I'm hoping it can be utilized someday, because what I'm seeing coming through the Profield doors are high level photographers, high level artists, high level just like designers, and I'm like, why am I not seeing their stuff?
Right.
If I ever have an opportunity to throw a show, I'm gonna do it. And it just kind of came about. I can't really put my like thumb on how it happened. Kalaya, that's with the Luminary. I think her label is the executive director. Like, she's the top person there right now. She came in here one day and she looked around. She said, "This place is great. This is awesome." And as far as I know, that was the first time she'd ever been in here. And I was like, we should sit down and talk. I have ideas about like ultimately what we could do together, or maybe change, or I don't know, look at things differently for Cherokee Street too. They look at things differently. I look at things differently. We have this blend of like old and new down here. And it's very like stretch. It's really like we're far apart in distance. So it's like you're not having like, it would be great if like there was more like, not like, I don't even know how to put it. More like commonalities as far as like what your goal is for the community, right? Because then there's some like places down here where like they're just gonna stay boarded up because no one cares. Like it's in the family. It's like they could care less if it's rented out or if a restaurant went into it or retail or someone lived above it. It's just kind of like boarded up and left to be. And then there's spaces that are getting flipped and gutted and remodeled and changed, and it's just I'm a part of it, right? Change is necessary. So I think that's just kind of where we're at. We're at a crossroad here on Cherokee Street. It's like, what's gonna change? And right now I'm seeing what that relationship with the Luminary is, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Now, you said this is Together We Ball is basically kind of telling the story 4 years in.
Yeah.
Like, to end it like this, what do you want us to take away from this 4-year story so far? After the 16th, 17th passed, and we on December 18th, what message do you want people, all of us, the community, to take away from the story so far?
I want people to come to this space and look around and realize that they absolutely have everything they need. Friendships, love, resources, food, drink, art, everything that you could possibly need to fulfill you as a person, you as someone that just lives here in St. Louis, giving you moments and opportunities to look back 5-10 years from now and you go, man, that was an amazing night. I'll never forget that, right? We only get so many of those.
Yeah.
And when we get those opportunities, they need to be done at such a level that is just so amazing, because life is not easy.
No.
Life ain't easy. Like, we talked about this on the podcast. We all, as soon as we get off this, we all look at our phone and go, okay, real world, right? So if we can get 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday night to just kick it and drink all the champagne we can and stuff our face with as much pizza as we can, and the phone don't come out unless we're trying to capture the moments to, show our immediate circle what we're up to. I don't consider it flaunting. I don't consider it showing off. I think people just get so excited that they want to share it.
Yeah.
I mean, and to me, it's like capturing history in those moments too, and showing people like, this is what you're missing out. For me, this is what you're missing out on. Please come to the next one. It isn't, look at what you're missing out on, stay on the couch.
Yeah.
It's, look at what you're missing. Who this? What is going on? Sounds like, I don't know. Sounds about like 20 kids just screaming, man. Like and then a cop car drove by. Like, what?
Stay safe, children. But yeah, man, Together We Ball, man. December 16th and 17th.
Yeah. And the 17th, it's a market for the artists. So ultimately, it's for the artists that want to pull up and have things to offer up to the public. Some last minute Christmas gifts, some art to put on your walls. I'm encouraging them to pull up with prints, merchandise. And in just a very well organized, curated manner. It's going to be kind of a brunch kickback vibe. So if you came to the Sunday brunches, which it's funny how it just started. It wasn't really planned. I've been talking with Frank for years now about like ultimately pulling him in and him handling like the food and just things like that. So for the brunches, just to start organically, literally a month out from the show, and then we're gonna move into the 17th and have that market and brunch and like just a kickback vibe from 12 to 4, and it's before Christmas. Yeah. So like, what you gonna do before Christmas other than get fly for Christmas? But like, that ain't till the evening. So come through, dip out at a decent time, and enjoy your city. enjoy these moments, these times, because like it's gonna be like a weekend unlike you haven't seen in a while. Because I understand there's been several great like events thrown over the last few years that I've heard of. I was not a part of them. I wasn't. Man, sorry. I just wasn't around. I wasn't. Profield didn't exist. I didn't know the scene even existed. So I've heard of some great successes. I know the city will pull up for some stuff if it's something they want to pull up on. So we'll see. We'll see if. Oh my goodness.
Get you some water, bro.
No, I'm like ruining the whole end of this. It's just totally butchering it. But it's fine. This is real life.
Exactly. Life is chaotic, as you said.
Like Marty should have got me a water the first time he heard me call. I'm just sitting there watching me like go downhill.
Yo, together we ball. December 16th.
Yeah, it's free.
Free.
Pull up. 8:15.
Pull up.
Anyone can. Like, you gonna stand in the cold, but it's fine. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something you want to be a part of. And it goes all the way till 11:30. And here's the thing: if you watch this till the end, you got to stay to the end of the show because we're gonna have some. We're gonna have a little surprise. We're gonna have a little band come through. Not a little band. St. Boogie Brass Band. I ain't they nothing little about them. Yeah. Amazing. I'm thinking we're gonna end the night with them. A little cake and champagne toast at the evening. Kind of, when you left too early before the end of the credits.
Yeah, like the end of the morning.
Oh yeah, so people like, oh, let's just get home. Oh, it's like,
don't do it.
You missed out on the final toast and like send off. So yeah, stick around. Come have a good time. Come be a part of something special, authentic, something that is ultimately for the people. It's for the community. It is not for me. Absolutely not for me at all. These are for the people that I've never shown. These are for the people that have shown. These are for their friends and family that know how amazing. Ultimately, this is a way for your friends and family to come celebrate all the work that they see you put in behind the scenes. I don't know why that makes me emotional, but like your moms, your pops, your brothers, your sisters, your girl, your friends, they all see how hard you work on things, and they want to see you have opportunities. Yeah. And yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's gonna be special for me for my friends and family to see ultimately this show too, because it's something I want to continue to do at a pace that I can manage, right? Like I don't know. A lot comes with like putting a show together, so I don't know if it's an annual thing, right? We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But I do know when I do throw something, it's going to be to the highest level possible. And just going to roll with the punches, do the best that I can, keep an open line of communication with everyone, work hard, show up, be accountable. Yeah. And ultimately create a safe place for everyone to come enjoy themselves, celebrate with friends, family, and break each other's ankles, because you're going to be able to play hoop in Monaco. Now, don't be hanging on the rim now. Like, come on, I'm building this thing from scratch. You rip it off the wall, insurance going to have to pay for it. And then, we just going to have to take that out of your paycheck every week. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Polite Coolery, Profield, Chris, Swish.